Morning and welcome to my channel. My name's Berenice and they call me Belle for short. 6:30 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Had to come and put something on. That's why my hair's a bit damp. It was sticking everywhere. But I was going to do some scraps that I've got left over of these. Hold on, I've got some white here. Pick them up at the same time. I don't want them. I made some blocks with these and these were left over. I still haven't got them blocks together. But anyway, and I've got a few strips still left over as well. So I'm going to put them and I'm going to make a mishmash quilt at top out of it. So I thought I'd just show that for the minute. Keep something online. The Christmas pinwheel, I've made a border, binding. So I cut 2.5 squares actually. I was going to do it different lengths, but I ended up 2.5 inch squares, sewing them together and then folding in a half. So that edge is already neatened off and I put it on the back. That's what I put on the back, a swirly pattern that I had in my cupboard. So that one's nearly done. I'm quite pleased that I stitched in the ditch. That's all I'd done with that. I didn't want to think it too fancy. And the next thing I'm going to do today is trim this one and put the binding on. Yeah, I'm going to make a video as well of doing some patterns. The quilting nerd, she's a great quilter by machine. I think she's got a long arm, but by home machine, and she does little swatches. And I want to do a little bit more of that. It's good practice for me, if not for you. So we're going to do that. So anyway, I'm going to show you. See, teeth are not even working. It's too early. Show you just a couple of strips together, and then cutting them into these. Actually, they're quite big, aren't they? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't realise that. But I'll put these in 4s, I think. Doesn't matter, because it's going to be a mishmash of colours. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, or subscribe if you haven't. It'd be lovely. Comments, love the comments. And the likes and notifications, yes. Numbers are creeping up, one a day or one every couple of days. So 1,283 at the moment. Trying to hit around 1,300. Yeah. So subscribe. Okay then. So let's get sewing, eh? Oh, I thought I'd make this a bit of a chit chat. I know one or two of you, especially one of my viewers, says she listens to me in the background while she's sewing. So if you're sewing, yeah, we'll sew along together. The thought I've had is doing something live. Am I brave enough? Do I know the technology? I have to get a laptop, I think, to sit in front of me. I've got a wee tablet. It's not an Apple, not an iPad. But yeah, things like that. But I thought, right, we'll sit here and just sew. I'll tell you what I've been doing. This is Monday morning. On Saturday night, went to the theatre to see a show called Country Road, and it was a tribute, not the real pick, Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. And there was some country music, a bit of rock and roll in there as well. My mate Denise, my neighbour, she loves that kind of 60s music, even though she's 64, a few years younger than me. I'm not over keen on it. But anyway, yeah, so me, my neighbour Denise, and a neighbour called April, a Scottish lass down here in England, we booked it well before Christmas and we went on Saturday night and it was lovely, absolutely lovely. Went for a meal first and into a pub like, and I had fish and chips and it was lovely fish. The battered fish was absolutely great. Usually in England it doesn't beat Cornwall. I love the Cornish fish battered like they do. There are a couple of places down there I like. But So yeah, we had that first, and then we went to the thing. Yeah, it was really good. So we were singing like teenagers. So we were, but we weren't standing up. There was a bunch of girls behind us standing up. Thank goodness they weren't in front of us. But I mean, I hadn't been to a theatre since. Well, I went once with my late husband. In case you don't know, he's been gone 19 years. So don't worry, I'm okay. Nearly 19 years. Sorry, John. Nearly 19 years. Went to see Don Williams. Yeah, it was Don Williams. It was, when I lived in Scotland. But I've never been to a theatre since I was a kid, like before that, you know. I sound like I'm deprived. I had a very simple life, you know. I had him to kids and, you know, him to worry about. But now I'm on my own and better, like. Yeah, so onwards and upwards. I'll get this sewing done in a minute, won't I? It's just plain strips together, so it is. Make sure you've got the right sides together, Belle. Yeah, so it's really nice. So I've moved into this flat 9 months ago now. And yeah, the neighbours have made a real difference. I've never been abroad, and they were talking about end of last year about going to Spain for a holiday. One April, she got me a passport cover, so I've got to go and buy a passport. I was backing out of it, and I thought, I'm not going to do it. It's not so much the doing of it, it's because when I walk I get pain, and that's what puts me off. Not that I'm not scared of airplanes or anything like that, you know. It's just the thought of walking anywhere. How do I do this? How do I go from A to B? I'm planning. And sometimes, you know, overthinking. And there's another word that I found out, catastrophizing, you know, thinking the worst, like, that can happen, which probably won't happen. And it's all because of pain. I mean, I'm not as much pain as I used to be a few years ago. I was in horrendous pain, but I'm a lot better now. We went out Saturday, you know, we had to think about, we didn't have a plan to eat anywhere. We thought of somewhere, but it's a parking of the car. I wasn't driving. I couldn't do that. But anyway, we got somewhere on the road, like, and yeah, we had to walk a little distance, you see. So that's the kind of situation. If I knew where I parked, you know, if we could have parked in a car park of a pub, it's right in the middle of the town, so there's no chance of that. You know, I'd be happy then, but it's that thing, oh, what if I've got to walk miles and miles? I've got a walker, but even that won't help, you know, because I have to sit down every few seconds. Well, they said when you go on holiday, you can get the little scooters, like, you know, because I have got a big scooter here that I can use if I go to town if I want to. I haven't used it for a few months because I've got the car now. Well, I'll use it in the summer, you know, because even going into town, I'd say it's town, it's a small town here, and if I go in a car park, I've got to think, right, I've got to walk from there to there, you know. That's why I've got this walker that you wheel along, you know, hold on to, because then I can stop and sit, because I'm sitting down, I'm okay. Yeah, so that's a bit about what's happened to me. I got caught up there. What's that? Bit of the fabric got caught up. So of course I took a few videos. I didn't take many. I didn't want to spend my time videoing. I wanted to just sit and enjoy it. But the Gambler was being played, and April's phone, she couldn't get it going. You filming now? I said, yeah, I'll film it. So I got it. So of course mine's on an iPhone and she's got an Android. Send it to her, like. She got a new phone, so she had a new number, so I had to put that in the WhatsApp. But then send it, well, hope it would go WhatsApp, because it wouldn't go Messenger. Messenger only takes 25 megabyte. WhatsApp would take up to 2 gig, if you understand the tech. And I thought, yeah, the iPhones take it with an extension called MOV at the end, and usually it's an MP4. I said to her at 2 o'clock this morning, because I was up, and She got it, she was fine. She's bad as me for sleeping at night. There's a wee thread getting caught up in her foot. So, just the thread off the fabric. That's quite easy to do this, isn't it? See, on the previous pattern, because I've done them round a square, there is a video on it. See, 6, and then the 4 up the side, see? And then there was a big patch of a different fabric in the middle. So I'll just do 2 lots of 4. I've got enough for that, I think it is. Forgotten already. Forgotten. Bit boring this bit, isn't it? Oh dear. Sometimes we need times for relaxing. So they went in that way. So what I really want to do, oh dear, hold on Patrick. On the floor. Oh, bump my head. I don't want 2 purples next to each other. I don't know what I want. Oh, there we go. No, that's it. Purple and green. Red. So we can put this red on here. I'm trying to see which way. I don't want to sew the same way, see, that's what I'm thinking. So I ended there, so I'm going to start there. Because if you keep going with long strips, if you keep going the same direction, it will curve. So always change ends on the long strips like this. I've done it. I've seen other people do it, yeah. This fabric, I might make just charity quilts with it. It's not the best of fabric that I bought somewhere. I do kiddies quilts. That's what I don't know if I get 1 or 2 kind of baby size small laptops for a toddler or something. Something like this, 8 o'clock in the morning. What else am I going to do before the day starts? I haven't got anything planned today actually. I don't think so. My hair alright? My hair alright? The trouble is feeling I've got to go and get dressed and that. As I said, 2 o'clock this morning, I was doing a bit on the computer and then a bit on here. I've got Scrappies that I've been doing, but I'm not filming it. Just using up fabric. It's not very good, that's what I mean. I'm tidying my bedrooms. I've got too much, as I said earlier. I've got to do them. Get a couple finished. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Saturday I went to a friend's from a quilting group. She lives in a village about 15 minutes drive away. And we were going to talk about the projects we're going to do with the projects thing. Well, I was last year, but I only done one, and that was the Christmas tree. Her name's Viv. She done it all, most of the planning last year. But at Christmas, I said, I can do this, you know, because I'd already made that Christmas tree. So I got it into stages for the group, and that's given me a lot of confidence of doing it. I know I can teach, you know, I know I'm pretty good at teaching. I've done it with computers to friends and people that want to know, you know, one-on-one, like, not classes, it's not professional. Yeah, I used to do a lot of teaching with a computer. So, yeah, I said to her, I'm going to take on a few more projects last year, so I went round there for a couple of hours and we hardly touched. We didn't even look at something, what we're going to do this year, but we got time. We've got an AGM at the end of the month. We'll just say we've got things in plan. Talking about everything else. At her group, I call it her group because I'm only just joined. They held in a wee church hall, and they like to put little stuff on the wall, like their little blocks or whatever they're making. But she said what they're going to do for the next few weeks is, how can I put it? They're going to put up little paper notices of like about your grandmother. If you've got a photo of your grandmother, I thought she meant print it out on fabric and make a block like that, which would be a very good idea. I keep wanting to do a family tree in a quilt, but you know, I never got to it. So I thought, yeah, I have. My mum was adopted, so I haven't got any photos of her adopted mum, and definitely not her real mum. But my dad, yeah, I've got, I didn't know my grandparents. My dad's dad died 4 years before I was born, and I'm the eldest. But my grandma met me a couple of times when I was a toddler, but families fell out. Well, I don't know the stories, but I never knew her grannies, aunties or anything. Excuse me. So, but I'm doing the family tree, yeah, I've got a couple of photos of her. So I've done that and put a little splurge, Dave. And she was born in Dublin. Her dad was actually from Lancashire in England, but she was born in Dublin, so were her siblings. And at the Troubles in the 1920s, she was there. Her first husband died in the First World War in 1917. And she met my granddad over there, and how she'd done it was my granddad, he was born in 1900, so he was called up to the army at the end of 1918, the end of the war. So he'd done a few months there, and I think he got just discharged, demobbed. But then he signed up again, and they went over. A lot of soldiers were sent over to Ireland. This is before the North and South were split. I'm telling people, because people in America and New Zealand might not know this, and everywhere else, bar Britain. So, yeah, he was sent over there, I think it was 1920, and a lot of troubles over there because they wanted their independence from Britain, which they've been wanting for 700 years. But yeah, there was a lot of hoo-ha at the time, like the IRA being formed and things like that. And in 1922, yes, it was partitioned, North and South of Ireland. So my granddad was sent over there. He met my grandma, and they got married. They got married back in England because he's a Londoner, but they went back and they had 2 children, a girl and a boy. The boy died at under a year old, over there in Dublin. And then they came back, and I think she was pregnant with my dad then. And because I remember him saying, yeah, just about got off the ferry when he was born, I don't know if that was a myth or not. But anyway, yeah. So they would come back to London, and that's when my dad was born in 1924. So they had a couple of years there, but I was watching, it was funny because I was just, how coincidences in life. I was just looking at a film about this break, the split of North and South of Ireland and the politics of it. And only a month ago, I'd rejoined Ancestry. I've been on it for years, but I'd left it alone. For a couple of years I've left it. So I signed up for Ancestry again just a couple of months ago. I've only paid 1 month, that's how near it was, And so, yeah, I went on there to get the details from when I saw this film. And then, of course, Viv had asked me about my grandmother, and I thought, it's really coincidence, isn't it? So yeah, I made a little splurge to take along to put on this church wall So that's a bit about my history. But the funny thing is, I'm not going to stop. The funny thing is, there's no Irish blood in me in that way because she was born there from English parents, Her grandmother actually was born on the high seas, born on a boat, because her dad then was a soldier, and he travelled around. He travelled to Canada, Australia, and we're talking 1800s, yeah. So there's no Irish blood as such there, she just happened to be born in Ireland. But as I said earlier, my mum was adopted, and I'd done a DNA test quite a few years ago with Ancestry. Because my mum was adopted, she sometimes thought that her adopted dad, was her real dad. He was a bit of a womaniser, you know, and her mother couldn't have children, so she thought maybe that she was adopted through one of his lovers. So, and funny enough, you know, when I look at one of my brothers, and that brother's got red hair, you think there's Scots in there. So when I first done the DNA test, the Ancestry said there's quite a bit of Scottish in it. And I thought, oh, blimey. When I told my mum, she was over the moon. But they get more and more details from the DNA as the years go on. And that's gone from 48 or 50% down to 12% Scot. So that's that out the window as far as I'm concerned. But with the DNA, there's a lot of Irish. It's gone way up. And the thing is, I found a person that I had a match, and the match with the little numbers that they give you is more than I've got with a cousin, who I do know. I've met him, my dad's sister's boy. So a cousin that way. I've met her. I've been out. Funny enough, they live in Northern Ireland, and me and my husband went over there once, like for a few days. But that's a different branch. Confusing, isn't it? Yeah. So this DNA, so my mum's birth mother must have had good Irish, or she was Irish. You know, she could have come over from Ireland. I don't know. That's the trouble. I know where my mum was born, and I know where I got her proper birth certificate. My mum, when she looked in it just a few years ago, she's got a short birth certificate. But I bought the big one, and it told me where she lived. And of course she could have come from anywhere in England, down south. My mum was born down south of England, and gone shipped back home, you know, after she had the baby, kind of thing. Yeah, so it's a sin. And when my mum looked into it, a lot of the records were burnt because you weren't supposed to, the children or the parents were not supposed to be able to get in contact with them. You know, she was born in 1935, and the records were kept at the council office to the 60s, and they would be moving, and they just burnt a lot, or kept a few, you know what I mean? So I've got little bits. I do know the birth mother's name, etc., but that's about it. So, but this lady, of course, I asked her through Ancestry, does she know anyone that had a baby adopted? Of course, everything was kept silent, so. Too much time in here, haven't I like family history. I think most people like to know about their roots. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to put this up and wonder if I'm talking too much. Yeah. I should tell by the figures. I should say if they just go on, she's blethering, and they're away looking at someone else. Just do this bit, and then I'll sew the other bits together, I think. So I've sewn the strips, and I've pressed them, ironed them. Now when you iron them, don't go along the lengthways. That tends to curve it and that, okay? Push it up away, push your iron up away, the way this seems to go in as well. It's a little bit more awkward, but it comes out better because you're stretching it, and yeah, so that's why I do that. So now I'm going to cut them into 2.5 strips here. Okay, and remove the camera. I've got this on the mat here. I could double it up, but I'm not going to. It's just to be sure. So, put my lines on the lines, or the same gap between the lines. Trim off the end. I've got my basket, my bin down there. and it's 2.5 inches. And that's all there is to it. So I'm just making sure that line, slightly different there, but this line is here and the side there. And I should just cut these like that to go with the rest that were already done from the last quilt I made. So again, that line on there and that's there. And I can see it, even though that's, you know, that's on a little tiny 1/8 of an inch or something, it's all squared up. Move them out of the way because I don't want to cut them again by mistake. And that's all there is to it. I'm just editing this Spotty Dotty quilt, and it's half an hour long, and I've only got cut the strips into 2.5 inch blocks, like, you know, 4. So I thought I'm going to stop it there, and I'm going to make an extra part for the rest of this. Okay then, so do come back and watch it. Please subscribe, press the like button, notification, and leave a comment please. That would be lovely to hear from you. Tell me if I've talked too much. Yeah, maybe cut it down. Yeah, but anyway, I make myself laugh, you know. I think so. You're an idiot. Yeah, so anyway, part 2 will be coming soon. Okay then, thank you for watching. Do take care of yourself, and bye for now.